Rebellions are built on hope.
And welcome to another episode of Radio Rebellion, a Star Wars podcast. I'm your host, Alberto Calderon, and with us today, as always, is our co-host, Alti1 Kenobi. Alti, how you doing with your, where's that, Barcelona jersey? How you doing
4-0, we won 4-0.
See, over here, we're just watching the NFL draft. This weekend is all about the NFL draft.
What's the NFL draft?
It's the other type of football. Don't worry about it. It's not your football. So when they select players from college to go to the pros.
Oh, that's that weird thing where they have like picks and you pick a player. I want that. That's so weird.
Yeah, it's very weird. Anyway, we're here to talk Star Wars.
Like no. That's like a very socialist way of handling capitalist sports.
Yes, because not to talk about the combine, which when they bring all these young players into a field and judge them based on how far they can throw, how long they can jump, how much weight they can lift, and then give them grades, and then people pay. So you play on their team and give you millions of dollars, and then fire you if you don't do X amount of touchdowns.
The U.S. is a weird place, man.
All right, it's been a week, more than a week. It feels weird.
It feels like a long time, but you know, if you're checking in on us, it's the same thing.
It's the same.
I was telling you, full disclosure, I wasn't here when we did our episode, so I usually set up like at 4:40, and when I went to let me go to the office and everything up, I was like, wait, where are my things? Where's my laptop? I found the laptop. Where's the charger? I don't know. Where's the mic? It was a whole thing.
Yeah. One of a few times I was here before you.
Yeah.
All right, like I just tweeted a couple of minutes ago, there's thunderstorms going, tornado watch. So hopefully connection doesn't crap out. But
let's hope so. The day is not pretty here. So
yeah. All right, Otto, before we jump into all our talks for today, Jedi Survivor came out. I know you're playing it.
I'm playing.
You're enjoying it.
I'm having a ton of fun. It feels like, like riding a bike, jumping right in, and it's it's the same but different, and it's pretty cool. I'm still like in the very early stages of the game, so I've already been spoiled on a minor things that I just wish I would have played myself.
Yeah.
But again, it's been a ton of fun. I just want to say it starts out. It has one of my favorite Star Wars intro. Just drops you into the middle of an adventure, and you're like, wait, what's going on? Wow. Who are these people? What's wrong with Cal? Like, figure it out. It's a very Star Wars thing, and it was pretty cool.
Yeah, everything I read online so far, people are loving the game. I'll say I don't have it. Maybe in the future I'll get it. But everyone seems to love it. But as it is the thing with Star Wars on social media, a lot of people have been spoiled already. The story has been spoiled. So I'm sorry for those out there.
I will say we knew there was going to be a High Republic angle to it.
Yeah.
Surprised how prominent of sorts the High Republic is.
So that's why, since I haven't played it, I didn't play the first one. I don't care about the spoilers. So everything that's tagged as spoilers, I'm checking and clicking it to open the images. And I saw one thing, a description of something High Republic. I'm like, that's interesting. I wonder where this is going.
It's interesting.
All right, so guys, I'm gonna say first, thanks to everyone because about 2 months ago or something, I was here. I was a little down. I said that some of our numbers haven't been too good or whatever. But since then, all our Mandalorian recap episodes went crazy compared to our other numbers. I got, I think, one episode over 100 views, got 2 in the high 90s. Everything's over 60 views, plus the audio podcast. So thank you first to you for that day to just calm me down, and to everyone out there that joins us week in and week out.
The chat has been great lately.
Yes.
So I missed them a lot last week because they were not there with us.
Yeah, no. If they were here last week, it would have been like a 3-hour show, because we still went for about an hour and a half.
For sure.
All right. And with that said, if you join us for the first time, thanks for being here. Make sure you subscribe to our show. And if you're here just coming back for another week, thanks. Leave us a comment in the chat, thumbs up, like, notification bell, all those things. And if you're listening later, just leave us a comment down on the comment box, I guess. And if you're listening on the audio podcast, thanks. And rate and review in all those places where you might hear it. Just
Yep.
go ahead and do that.
Let's go to the chat.
Yeah, go to a chat real quick.
We have Dale, as always.
Dale, thanks for being here.
Prima, hello there. Hello there.
Ooh, Andrew.
Yeah, Mo's here. Mr. Rez is always is also.
Ooh, Mr. Rez. How you doing, Mr.
Yes.
Rez? Tony.
We also have Amy here.
Amy.
By the way, loving the game so far. Awesome. I'm very happy just to see everyone like on the same page.
I mean,
and
it's
be like, yay, good Star Wars game.
Yeah, and I think it'll be one of our comments. I won't say no. It's one of our comments at the end that people sent us.
Okay. We also have Brennan on the chat. Hi, Brennan.
Ooh, Brennan, we gotta talk. I know we're trying to get back on his show at some point soon.
Yes. We have to schedule.
Okay, I'm just gonna say, last week I think it was, I made a little tease of.
I almost dropped the gun.
It's fine.
Jumped the gun.
Yeah, a little tease about someone that might be joining us, an author from the High Republic. Now that you mentioned Fallen Order, having connections to the High Republic. We're almost there. We're like 90%. Everything says, so I'm just going to drop it now. Hopefully it doesn't come back and bite me at the end. But maybe when is it? Not next Saturday, but the next one, May 15th, I think it is. Lydia Kang, author of Cataclysm, might be here joining us. That's going to be great. And super nervous. We'll see how that goes. You're still finishing the book. I finished it last week, so hopefully I remember everything that happened. But very excited and nervous for that one.
Wikipedia summaries are a great way to just refresh everything. Just trust me.
Yeah, and after that, we're also working with the senior editor out there at Penguin Random House, Tom Holler, to hopefully be here a few weeks after Lydia Kang. So if that pans out, it's going to be very interesting the next couple of weeks in Radio Rebellion. So wish us luck.
It's I still have to send you my questions for Lydia, and I just want to ask her everything. Like I heard she was a doctor, so I'm like,
yes.
How?
Yeah, I know. I started writing my questions down about 2 days ago. Probably got like 20. I gotta get yours. I gotta cut them down, and I don't know.
Are they all related? Okay, we're doing like pre-production here. Are they like directly related to the book, or are they like?
I got both. I started with related to the book, and then I started going back to how everything kind of works and dealing with connecting so many stories and working with so many authors, making sure it connects to phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, ideas from this person. So, well, just send me everything. I'm sure some of them will be similar. We can just mix and match.
Full disclosure, and you're gonna roll your eyes, and I have to like tune myself because we haven't talked about the book, so it's a great opportunity. But I find it so boring just to be like, oh, where do you get the idea for this? Oh, how did this choice come about? So I just want to like drop some weird questions.
No, go ahead. And I'll say it won't be. So on page 175, when Gela Natai came in with her lightsabers, I don't have that. It's more, especially knowing she has a very strong connection to the Grey Lords, to Axel and to Kion. So I want to know how that kind of ties in with her own kind of, not personal, because I'm not going to get into personal questions, but you know, why is that connection there? And she's one of the interviews I saw before the book came out. She makes a connection, of course, in an Asian character like Axel on the cover and all that. So connecting that with writing a character like him, so it'll be fun. So hopefully in the next couple of weeks. All right, make sure to be here, and I'll make sure to tweet it out a couple hundred times when that becomes 100% certain. All right, Oti, before we start, anything else from the chat?
No, they're all very excited with Lydia Kang. Amazing. Eso.
Yeah,
Amy's excited. They're gonna kill it apparently. Thanks, Mo.
Oof, we'll see. All right, and with that said, if you guys are ready, I'm not ready. Let's talk Star Wars and Star Wars news. Right, Oti, I told you right before we started, because you haven't heard this. I don't even know if I should call it a news. I mentioned. Go ahead.
Jeff Snyder, I think, is a good source. So,
I should. Let me preface. So, like I mentioned before we started, my brother came to visit yesterday with 2 of his sons. So I wasn't online a lot yesterday. So when I logged in, this news had dropped about 2 hours prior. so I haven't followed it, so I don't know too much about it. But there's two things that came out. This is from Damon Lindelof, and you can see the tag there. It says Damon Lindelof movie set 60-year post The Rise of Skywalker. I'm gonna get to that in a second. But Damon Lindelof was doing promotion for another TV show, I think, that he's doing that's coming out soon. And he was asked about Star Wars. And he mentioned that, yeah, he had worked on the script and all that. But he said something like, yeah, I was in Star Wars and then I was let go, or then I wasn't in it anymore.
Yeah.
Kind of seemed like he was fired or let go, like he said, which is something that we don't hear a lot about from Star Wars directors or writers that have all these differences and don't finish up their production. So it's kind of interesting for him to already be talking about this. But then this dropped from Jeff Snyder, like you mentioned, his podcast that he does with John Roca, I believe, the Hot Mic podcast, saying that the Star Wars movie that he was writing was set 60 years after Rise of Skywalker. Rey was still going to be there, but it was going to be played by Helen Mirren. And my mind exploded for a couple of minutes. Alti, I told you this 5 minutes before we started going live. What are your thoughts on first Lindelof kind of mentioning or suggesting that he was kind of fired basically, and then this news dropping?
I'm not surprised Damon Lindelof talked about it. Damon Lindelof is a guy who's been in this industry for a long time. He's done a bunch of things, and this is how the industry works. You pitch a project, they say, okay, write a script, you present the script. We don't like the idea, we're letting you go. It is what it is, and that's the nature of this business. And he's someone who's I'm betting this is not the first time this has happened to him. So again, and I did read those comments. I don't think he was like salty about it or anything.
No.
He was just like, yeah, no, it happened. I'm sure he doesn't want to be on Lucasfilms or Disney's bad side, because
I think he said that he would be back if he's invited. If he would love to try it again or something like that.
Yeah, no, I'm sure Lucasfilm or Disney or whatever would love to collaborate with him in some other project. So good to see, no bridges burned apparently.
Yeah.
Regarding the project, okay, so I'm gonna take this as pretty accurate, because I remember when Jeff Snyder said that they were announcing 3 movies, everyone was like, 3 movies? Come on, they can't even make one, and boom, 3 movies got announced. So I'm glad they didn't go with this direction. I love the character of Rey. I would have been excited to see like an actress like Helen Mirren play Rey 60 years after, she almost being 90. But I always say Daisy Ridley is right there. Like, why not have her join the project? I'm wondering if this was like a very early version of this, and maybe they were like, "Hey, Damon, like, we have this actress. She's willing to come back. Like, let's use her.
Everyone loves her."
And he's like, "Nah, I don't want to do that." So I don't know, but yeah, I'm kind of glad this isn't the direction they went with.
Yeah, I mean, might have been the first draft, right? We all know this goes through different stages. I'm working on something at work. I'm already on my 3rd draft.
Yeah.
So maybe it's the first draft, and they said, maybe we need to negotiate this point, and maybe he wasn't willing to. Helen Mirren, Oscar winner, Dame Helen Mirren, I should say, tremendous actress. So in that point, it's like, having her in Star Wars might be interesting.
I'll be right back. Sorry.
You'll take her phone call right in the middle of the show, but that's fine. But if you're going to be not telling the story of Rey, but bringing Rey back for the first time after 5 years since we saw her last in Rise of Skywalker, it has to be Daisy Ridley. I understand if we've gotten 3 more movies with Rey, and then now they want to move forward and bring another actor. That's fine. I always say that I'm okay with recasting if that's the way to go. This de-aging and CGI, all that stuff is still kind of weird. But if you're going to do a movie right after The Rise of Skywalker, following Daisy Ridley and the New Jedi Order, and she trying to rebuild it with new Jedi students, it has to be Daisy Ridley. If they announce a new Star Wars movie starring Rey Skywalker and it's not Daisy, that would be extremely weird and something that I'm not on board at the moment. If for some reason, let's say they do this movie and then 5 years from now they want to see what happened 60 years or 40 years afterwards, then okay, then I'll be more on board. But to do it right now, I don't know, feels kind of off. But again, it's the first draft of the story. They taken some of it, as we know, since you're back. So yeah, basically, I don't know if you heard, I was saying that to make the first movie again, the first movie after Rise of Skywalker, starring Rey Skywalker and not being Daisy Ridley, just feels wrong. If it's in 15 years and there been 3 movies with Rey and they want to, okay, let's move the story forward, I understand the recasting. But to do it now just doesn't feel like the right moment to do that.
I'm a Star Wars shill, so I would have probably just like been like, okay, this is interesting. Because again, I said it a billion times, I love Damon Lindelof. But I kind of think it would have been the same thing if they announced episode 7 and we're like, oh my god, the actors are coming back. Like, no, we're recasting all of them. And it's like, okay, they're right there, but okay, sure.
Yeah, and I said, and I had a very successful Twitter post the other day about recasting Harrison Ford. Not recasting, but bringing back Alden Ehrenreich to play more Harrison Ford post Return of the Jedi. And most people were positive in that post. Some not too much, but that's fine.
I call you a dum-dum, but okay.
Yeah, I mean, someone called me a Disney tard today for putting something about Boba Fett, but well, I didn't even understand that one.
It's kind of like a play on libtard, I think.
Yeah, probably, but I'm like, whatever. So I'm not against recasting, but at this point, recasting Rey to go 60 years in the future, I don't know. That's not the play for me.
Yeah, no, it would have been. I think it still would have been a little bit different because if you recast Rey, Daisy Ridley is still like very young, so she could come back later on. And it will be like, but it would be weird because it would be like the sandwich where you know where her story would go. And I kind of like Daisy Ridley having that. Again, she's not writing the character, but having that freedom of taking the character in the direction she likes.
Yeah. So, Oti, I don't think we talked about this when the movie was announced. Do you think this is going to be episode 10, or is it going to be something different?
I don't think it'll be labeled episode 10, honestly. Okay. I kind of wish it was, but I'm fine if it's not.
Yeah, I don't know yet where I fall. I don't know what's going to happen with that one.
The thing is, if you do episode 10, it would automatically be episode 10, 11, 12, which I would be fine with. But I don't know if, for example, in order to bring back John Boyega and Oscar Isaac, it's an easier sell if, hey, just come to this movie and we'll see what happens. So I wouldn't be surprised, though, if they did like episode 10, 11, 12, not labeling that. And then when episode 12 comes out, they like rename all of them. That would be like a very Star Wars thing, though.
Yeah, like A New Hope, right? It's Star Wars. And then it's called A New Hope episode 4. That'll be fun on the last movie. Actually, it's 12. And we're going to re-release all of them.
But I love Mo's comment. No, Daisy was interesting. It's a weird take, but sure.
Yeah, and we didn't talk about it. I think it was last week. Talks that John Boyega might come back, which to me makes sense. But
it's very interesting how all of them except Daisy were like, "I'm not
never.
If I need money," and they're like, "No, I would definitely come back if Disney, if the script is good and I already read it and I liked it and I'm coming back."
And I signed 2 years ago. I just can't say anything.
Yeah.
All right.
But, again, more than him coming back, I want him to want to come back.
Oh, of course. And I think he wouldn't just do it for the money. I think John Boyega is on a stance and a place right now that if he comes back, it's because he really wants to.
Yeah, no, and his comments, I think, were very clear on he wanted more of the character. So if he's coming back, I'm very excited to see what they're going to do with it.
Yeah. All right. So from here, we jump to our second news story. And this is something that blew up again last week on social media. And it's some comments from Temuera Morrison. So let's go ahead. So he was at the Supernova Comic-Con and gaming convention in Australia. Jango and Boba Fett actor had some choice words for Din Djarin showing up in the book of Boba Fett. And I'll say before I read, as I see you with your Bo-Katan post back there, I haven't seen any video of this. I just seen what people tweeted out. So I don't know his intentions behind it, how serious this was. We know he's a very fun person, and this might have all been in jest. So he says, well, that Mando guy stole a few chapters of my book. It was painful watching him turn up with some black new lethal sword. And the way he turned up in my book of Boba Fett, he just destroyed everybody. I'm sure this guy is ruining my show, but I couldn't say anything. I'm not the writer, so I have to bear it, I guess. And he also had some other comments regarding Boba Fett not showing up in Mando Season 3, saying, I was supposed to be in the Mandalorian Season 3, but nobody rang me. I was waiting for the phone call in New Zealand, waiting and waiting to give up. So, Oti, I'm sure you saw all this blowing up early last week, or early this week, I should say. And people on Twitter, and what's funny to me, because there was even a hashtag that went out, bring back Boba Fett. The people behind it were the people that didn't like the book of Boba Fett. And for some reason, they wanted to bring the character back, which to me, that was the funniest part. But when you read this, knowing Temuera Morrison, the way he jokes, we also had Celebration last year. Do you think he was just playing, having fun with it? Or do you think there was something more behind it from his words? Which I know we're just speculating right now.
So FC Barcelona scored 4 goals today, and a 15-year-old kid, 15 years old, Alberto, debuted he's the youngest player to ever wear this shirt, and I was very happy to see. He almost scored a goal. He didn't score a goal, and he almost gave an assist, but didn't happen. That had me very excited. And the reason I'm talking about this is I think it's more interesting than what we were talking about regarding Temuera Morrison, but I'll get back to the topic now. Alberto, I think it was Lauren Romo who tweeted this out. I totally agree. Is there you mentioned that there's no video or audio of this, which I would like to see, because all I'm seeing about this is just it's like a screenshot of an article or something, but I haven't seen the actual thing. I don't know. So did this happen knowing how he likes to joke? Yeah, probably he said something like this. Was he salty? I don't know. I haven't heard him talk. So for me, this is like a non-story. I'm very sure he's gonna come back at some point because we know all these stories are going somewhere. I'm just tired of people contradicting themselves. Like whenever Lucasfilm fires someone for not being on board with a vision, they just need to let the creators do their job or do what they want to do. And when creators do what they want to do or do their jobs, they're disrespecting this other person or they're disrespecting fans. I'm just tired. I don't want to talk about this.
Yeah, it's like when Mandalorian started and everyone was so hyped to say, this is just like we were kids playing back in the backyard in the sandbox. And now everyone hates, it's just action figures in the backyard. 3 years ago, this was the greatest thing ever. And now people hate it. So I understand what you're saying with this back and forth that people say. When I saw the hashtag trending, not trending or whatever, a lot of people behind it are people that have been very negative and very against the book of Boba Fett and the way that Boba Fett was portrayed. I don't know why they are behind this in terms of bring Boba Fett back. If they think, okay, we're going to bring him back and it's going to be the badass that you guys wanted. No, it's going to be the same character. So I don't know why they're going nuts.
They want him back so they have something to complain about.
Of course. And some of the other things that, again, it's people saying, the way he's talking about Lucasfilm, now they won't bring him back just because of those comments. And then other people saying, if they don't bring him back because of those comments, then Lucasfilm is at fault because he's entitled to say what he says. So people are already creating
these narratives,
this drama behind the scenes because of something that we don't know is happening, it's not happening. They're just creating it. And for those 2 or 3 days, it was craziness on Twitter just because of what people are disrespecting Temuera Morrison. And I'm like, I love Boba Fett. You guys all know it. And I love Temuera Morrison. They gave him like a 3-episode cameo, let's say, in Mando Season 2, gave him his own show, plus an appearance on the Kenobi show as a clone trooper. So how is Lucasfilm disrespecting Temuera Morrison by not doing a season 2 or whatever. They gave him a lot of more opportunities with Boba Fett that we never thought was going to happen. So in that sense, I don't know why people say, "Oh, he's getting disrespected," or they don't know what they're doing with the character on the ice. It's like, dude, look at all the work he just got.
But have they confirmed he's not coming back for a season 2? Is this
no?
So we don't know.
So in that same convention, I think I have the quote here. He said an update on season 2. Oh, look, we're having a few changes. We're having a few cutbacks. This is supposedly what people told him, Morrison. And when you hear that at the other end of the line, it's no good trying to negotiate any more money. That's for sure. So we'll see what happens.
Okay.
So we know that there's been, I don't want to call them cutbacks, but like you said, when Iger returned, things slowed down a little bit. So I think that Book of Boba Fett might be a casualty of this to say, hey, we're not going to move forward with it right now. But I'm pretty sure that he'll show up either in the movie or something leading up to. I think he might show up there.
Yeah, no, he's a beloved character. He's still like young enough to do it. So I hope they do bring him back. I'm pretty sure he'll be back. But those comments make sense to me. Like, we talked about this, and Disney Plus is bleeding money. So I'm sure they'll cut around.
All right. So again, he's entitled to say anything that he wants. If his comments are true, I'm not gonna say, "Oh, what are you doing?" I know some people out there say, "Oh, he's biting the hand that feeds. He shouldn't do this," and then other people were defending. No, he can say whatever he wants.
No.
I just don't think that this was in.
If he's upset, and he can say whatever he wants. It's the same thing. I hate it when the whole John Boyega and people being like, "Oh, he's being malagradecido." How do you say that in English? Again, biting the hand that feeds you. Like, it's like, no, dude. Like, no. Finn is not a real person. John Boyega is a real person with real thoughts and real opinions. So
but he's not being thankful for what there is.
And he got paid for doing the job he did. Which is showing up on set, acting. What he wants to do in his spare time is his own business.
And I understand when comments like that, "Oh, they're not being grateful," or whatever, and then people say, no, he's entitled to say what he said, because when Harrison Ford comes out and say how much he hated coming back or whatever, we all laugh and he's right. But then when John Boyega, Temuera Morrison, people of color say, "Oh, you gotta be grateful," I said, dude, they're all entitled to say what they say. But I still don't believe that he was being very serious in terms of criticizing everything that happened. Anything in the chat, Oti?
Again, Mo always has funny comments. When he comes out, Captain Snacks, you'll see, guys. You'll see. I don't know, Michael. I can't.
Michael.
I don't know if any of this how 100% accurate it is, but here we go. He's showing up in Ahsoka. I hope so. If he's Rex in Ahsoka, I'll be over the moon. If he's Boba Fett, if he's Rex and Boba Fett and Cody in Ahsoka, I'll be over the moon. He waited years to come back, and he did wait a while, and he was like, "Hey, I'm right here." And Mando only took time of Book of Boba Fett because of Pedro's contract. I don't know how accurate that is, but it's very possible, knowing how these things work. I totally agree. The people are calling it disrespect just because they want something to complain about. 100%.
Yeah. All right, so I love Temuera. I love Boba Fett. Hopefully he'll be back. And you know how...
Hey, look who's here. My friend
Who's
Tony.
Here? Oh, Tony, he's back. How you doing, Tony? Thanks for joining us today. Where's... Billy D.
He hated shooting Return of the Jedi at Celebration. I don't remember him saying that, Tony. He's probably just making things up. By the way, are you seeing Return of the Jedi this weekend?
Nah.
Okay, I'm going with my dad. I called him.
Oh, that's nice.
And he had that same reaction. I'm like, "Hey, want to see Return of the Jedi?" He's like, "Nah." And I was like, "Oh, I'm going tomorrow." And he's like, "Well, if you're going, I'm going."
See, if my kid calls me, then I said yes. But this will be me trying to convince them after I had people over this weekend. I just want to relax tomorrow. I just want to sit back. And next weekend, if it's still on, then maybe I'll go.
Okay.
All right, so let's jump to another news topic. And this one's, I don't know. This one is a good one. It's a fun one. This is coming from Katee Sackhoff, saying on a recent appearance on the Kristen Harloff podcast, saying that Bo-Katan the Big Thing podcast, Katee
Which
Sackhoff said, "What you?"
No, I haven't watched the second of that
Oh,
episode, but it shows up on my Instagram.
yeah. Axe, we knew he was supposed to die last year. That was the thing that no one could talk about. There was this moment where he sacrifices himself in that episode. We shot it in season 2. She also added, and then they were like, it needs to be Dean, not him. So then you shoot a person's death, and then they take it out, and then there's still a scene left, and then everyone's like, where'd they go? And I went back and I watched it. I'm sure I changed it. I went back to that episode, The Heiress, in season 2, when they're taking over the light cruiser, and Din Djarin just goes balls to the wall with that thermal detonators and blows everyone up. Axe Woves doesn't show up on the cockpit, and in the rest of the episode, he was supposed to die in that scene. And we've been saying here for 2 years, where Axe Woves? We didn't see him. He was in the finale. Where is he? He was dead.
Yeah, no, I remember that he got interviewed and he was like, hey, why wasn't Axe in the finale? And he's like, oh, I don't think I can tell that story. I was like, ooh, did something happen on set? It's like, no, they killed him off and they didn't know what to do with him afterwards.
And it's so funny because we were talking last week about the season 3 finale, and Brendan Wayne saying you're gonna be devastated. You said maybe it was a death and the editing process, and I said, dude, if someone died, they're gonna tell the actor because they're not something that big. Is not people are gonna know about it, and we just found out that this happened last year or whenever season 2 came out, and we didn't know about it. It's so funny. And then he's the hero of season 3. Talk about having an arc where your death was shot and then you were the hero of the other finale.
Yeah. Hey, but I'm glad they didn't kill him off because I thought he was awesome this season. So yeah, right, I'm waiting for his action figure.
Yeah, you order it?
I did, yes.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
I got nothing else on this. I just thought it was funny. All right, so I got a couple of Ahsoka news. Nothing too big. One I think we already knew about it, but we'll double check on it. So some Ahsoka news. 9 years post Rebel. So there was an interview with Timothy Zahn. He was being interviewed by Clone Web, and he says that when we meet Thrawn in the Ahsoka series, there will be a 9-year gap between that series and the end of Star Wars Rebels. So that kind of ties in with the 5 years after Return of the Jedi for Mandalorian, where it started. I thought Ahsoka now it's going to be like 3 or 4 years. So I don't know. I mean, at the end, it really doesn't matter. But did you thought it was going to be around this time period, 9 years? So it's been 9 years since we've seen Ezra.
I think we'll be jumping. I still think we'll be jumping around. I always expected Ahsoka to start before we see her in Mando. So we'll see. I don't know if you mentioned any of this, but and I'm changing things a little bit. Are you expecting a Zahn book leading up to Ahsoka or after Ahsoka?
So this came up, I think, that same interview. He said that he wants to write more Star Wars stories. It doesn't have to be Thrawn, but he can always come back and do more Thrawn. I don't want more Thrawn books. I got 6 back there. I'm done with it. Who was it? Maybe Connor might have been that had said a few weeks ago, surprised that there's no Ahsoka tie-in book coming into it. Some people, I can't remember who said maybe they'll do it after the series comes out. I don't know, dude. You know me. I'm done with book Thrawn. I can't, or with Timothy Zahn's writing. It's not my flavor. So hopefully not. If he wants to write something else in Star Wars, I'll give it a shot. But another Thrawn book after Ahsoka or connecting, I don't know. What do you guys think? You guys want more Thrawn, more by Timothy Zahn? So that's my answer. I really don't want more Thrawn, at least for myself.
I'll just say this. I know a lot of people love Zahn and his writing. You and I are not the biggest fans. I do wish he gets to write more because I know he loves that character. So I don't know. And I know it's gotten a little bit off his hands. So So yeah, I hope he gets to. I know I've heard interviews of him before, and he's saying, "Oh, I have ideas of what could have happened." So I wish they gave him that chance. I'll just say that, even though if the book isn't for me.
Yeah, just write one. We don't need a trilogy. Just give me one book. That's enough for Thrawn. All right, and the other Ahsoka news. I think we talked about this already, or we knew about it. Dave Filoni was speaking with Collider, and he reiterated that he is the sole writer for the Ahsoka series, and that it only made sense for him to do it by himself, as he knows the character better than anyone else.
The ball's on him.
Yes, which I've been very vocal that this is why I'm not the biggest fan of Ahsoka, because Filoni is the only one that believes that he is entitled to write that character. I think he needs other voices. So I'm not too happy with that comment. But then I think about the trailer, and I love the trailer, so I don't care. So I'm a hypocrite. So I'm not surprised that he's going to be the sole writer. I know you mentioned that for his movie, you hope he brings in different writers. I don't know how. I know it's different because that movie is going to be the kind of bringing everything together. But how do you take his comments and then just going toward his movie? Will he broaden the horizons and bring someone else to help him?
I'm not expecting him to. I don't need someone to help him with the story. I need someone who help him with the script.
Okay.
You know, the script as a whole.
Andrew.
I mean,
you
don't
have
to read them. If they
I know, and that's the thing. And we're going back. After I read Chaos Rising, no, I love Chaos Rising. The
Chaos
second
Rising was
one,
great.
I love Chaos Rising. Then I read the second one. I'm like, oh, dude, I don't know. But it's like, I gotta finish it. I gotta finish that trilogy. I'm not gonna leave it. So if they say another trilogy, I'm gonna say I won't do it.
I dropped off halfway through the second book because I wasn't having it. But the first one was great.
Mm-hmm.
The first trilogy, I don't know.
But the first Thrawn canon book is my favorite of all 6. Okay. And then probably Chaos Rising.
Good for you.
Yeah, thank you.
Going back, I think he could benefit from a better screenwriter, but that's fine. With regards with him as man, I don't really mind him being that possessive of that character. I think it's kind of weird that I've never seen anyone be like that possessive of a character.
Yeah.
But hey, man, he created her. He endured all the hate she received when initially coming out. He literally made her what she is today.
Yeah.
So between him and Ashley Eckstein, so hey, I trust him with Ahsoka. I don't think there's been a misstep with that character.
Mm-hmm. All right. Do you think Ahsoka is gonna die at some point? Let's say by the movie.
I don't think she'll die. I don't know. I don't think she'll die in the movie.
But why wasn't she in the sequel trilogy? Yeah.
Why wasn't she in the prequels? Why wasn't she in the sequels? In the original trilogy? I honestly think Ahsoka's alive in episode 9. I honestly think she'll end up being like a Mortis god or like a Bendo-like creature later on. Maybe she becomes a cave. I don't know. A forest cave. I don't know. Or a forest tree.
Yeah, another Amorai, just one of those owls.
If there's a Star Wars character that's becoming the next Force God, it's Ahsoka for sure.
Yeah. I don't want that. I don't need her to die. I don't think that Dave Filoni is gonna kill her. I don't think she needs to. Ahsoka's been fighting. She's in war, so she's like 14 years old. Let her rest. She can say, "I'm done with this," and just go rest.
The only thing I don't want is her showing up like 150 years into the future, and yes, I'm still young and kicking ass. Like,
yeah, that's the thing. So just let him rest. Let her rest. She's been in too many wars. Maybe she's done with all this stuff. But she's a Jedi. Just doesn't care. I'm getting too old for this crap.
I'm getting too old for this.
Yeah. So the only thing, just to finish up, like I said, if I read those comments before the trailer came out, I would be very angry. Or not angry, but like, really, dude, we can't keep doing this. But after the trailer came out, which I love, I'm letting it go. I'll be okay. Show me what you got.
Sabine will kill her in the first episode. Mark my words. It's actually the Sabine show.
Yeah,
We'll have
the
like
title card just burns
the
off.
yeah, like with Clone Wars
Yeah,
and
Bad Batch.
Bad Batch. Yeah.
Sabine. um, and
Okay.
the,
Mo says that the only way she's dying is if Filoni isn't writing her. Yeah. I hope Filoni dies in a billion years, but when he dies, I hope someone picks up that story and just kills Ahsoka just before we get somehow Filoni has returned.
dude, he'll put it on his will and send it back to Kathy Kennedy. Before I die, you gotta
Please don't
promise no one else.
Please don't kill it.
But he said, because there was another article or something talking about writing for the movie, and he said, that he and Favreau are working together to figure out how all the characters are going to kind of work in.
I saw it.
So I think he's not working by himself for the movie, at least. And it's the Favreau verse, as you said, it's not the Filoni verse for the movie, so it makes sense at least the two of them are working together. All right.
I do suspect that the movie will be way more Filoni's thing than Favreau's thing, but again, I think they'll want to come back to the shows, so I'll probably stay in line.
Yeah, I'm bringing. I can't believe I just forgot his name. The director, Famuyima. Just bring him. He will be a great executive producer. Help with the story.
He's probably there in the writing room with them. He's an executive producer. So
yeah. All right. So actually, that does it for our news topics. Not a lot of Star Wars news. A lot of it had to do with Jedi Survivor coming out. The Timelines book came out. We got a comment about that we're gonna hit in a couple of minutes. And then next week, I know you're not gonna be here next week, but we have Star Wars Visions coming out on May 4th, along with Young Jedi Adventures. Have you watched the clips? Not the clips, the shorts for Jedi Adventure, Young Jedi.
Wait, no, I think I watched the first clip.
Okay. Yeah, I just watched the first one. They just put them on Disney Plus now, so I might just watch them real quick before the first episode comes out next week, which I don't know if it's going to be a 20-minute episode, 15. I don't know how that series is going to work out.
Yeah, I'll be flying to Mexico, so I'll probably be downloading them and watching them on the plane.
But Star Wars Vision, that looks great. No, everyone that got a chance, that's what you're talking about.
I'm gonna watch.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'll give Young Jedi Adventure a shot, but like we said before, it's not something we're going to be covering here week in, week out.
Sesame Street and Star Wars, please.
Yes, and like I said, just give me knobs, tickling Motion Row, just making him laugh so he drops, or just petting the leveler. Just, the leveler is so
Martian no swiping. Martian no swiping.
Yeah. All right, but next week
yes, Mo, I'm leaving again.
He always does that.
It's not a vacation. I have to go to Mexico for a wedding. I have to write my best man speech. That's why I've slowed down on Cataclysm, because on Friday I was like, I haven't written anything. So I have to work on that.
I'm gonna write to Lydia. Well, actually, I don't have the questions for you because our co-host is.
You'll have them, Alberto.
No, I know.
Have I ever failed before?
Let me not go back and think about all of them. No. Do you think we'll get any other surprises for May 4th? Either a behind the scenes for Mando Season 3, we never got one for Andor, maybe a special look at Ahsoka or that trailer for Skeleton Crew, or do you think it's just Visions and Young Jedi Adventures?
Man, I haven't really thought about this. It'd be cool if they dropped a new Ahsoka trailer.
Yeah.
With Thrawn. Or just announced Book of Boba Fett Season 2 just to turn everyone up.
That would be the best.
More bikers. So yeah, I don't know. Are you expecting anything?
I'm not expecting anything. When they did for last year or the year before, whenever they dropped that 10-minute clip for Andor, did they announce that before that, or was it a same day drop? I think it was the same day and people just freaked out when it came out.
I can't remember.
Yeah, I'm not sure. So I'm not expecting anything, but it wouldn't surprise me if they do a little clip for something. Either a clip for Ahsoka, or hey, here's Skeleton Crew now that what's his name? Again, Jude Law with his other movie, the Peter Pan and Wendy, that just dropped on Disney Plus. So I gotta watch that next couple of days with my family. he's now in the Disney family. Maybe they'll drop something for Skeleton Crew, but I'm not expecting. I think 9 episodes of Vision is a lot to let us kind of
but
just enjoy this.
Vision isn't for everyone, so we'll see. We'll see.
All right. Anything else in the comments before we jump to other comments that people have sent us and questions?
If we don't get something for Andor, I may do something drastic. I don't think we're getting something for Andor, Mo. Yeah. I'm sorry.
But I'm surprised that Andor, which was this beloved series, we haven't gotten a behind-the-scenes look.
That's super weird. I don't know if Tony Gilroy is like, let me work.
He's kind of grumpy in that sense. He just focuses so much on that.
I don't care about the fans and what they want to watch.
But the Andor panel was great on Celebration, which I wasn't looking too much into. It was great the way he just jumped into everything.
So Mo's saying they released a 3-minute clip out of nowhere and then announced a first look at the show after the Rogue One screening. Okay. All
right. So we'll see. Plus, of course, Return of the Jedi is on theaters now. Do you know how long it's going to be? Is it just a 1 weekend only?
It's in here in Puerto Rico, it's just 1 week.
Okay. So I don't know if it'll be here next week for me to go, but we'll see. Maybe tomorrow I'll wake up and say, you know what, I'm going. Probably not. All right. And with that.
No, stop. It's a Star Wars movie, man. Don't you miss sitting in the theater and just all of a sudden being like,
I do. It's just everything behind it.
Yeah, I know. Theater is so expensive over there.
No, it's not just that. I gotta drive like 35 minutes.
What?
But yeah, I don't have one close enough. Tell my family, hey, we haven't seen each other all the whole week. I'm gonna go for 2 hours. Probably my daughter might want to go, but I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'll text you tomorrow. I'll send you a picture from the movie theater. Okay. All right, so let's hear from you guys in a segment we like to call Rebel Thoughts. Where's my clip? There we go.
Done. You're a rebel now.
You're a rebel now, and our first comment comes from D Byers at D Byers. Heck of a week. Jedi Survivor tonight, and Anakin Skywalker and more Star Wars content in Fortnite next Tuesday. This was after a comment that I said, hey, it's the first Wednesday without any Star Wars, or first week without any Star Wars, and then he replied with this.
Okay.
And again, very true. There's a lot of Star Wars content coming out. Jedi Survivor is taking a lot of people's time at the moment. And if you play Fortnite, Anakin Skywalker. So do you play Fortnite, Toti?
I do not play Fortnite. I love it how this is like very Star Wars fan thing. Like for the last couple of weeks, it's like it's too much. It's hard to keep up. Like, right. Where's all the content?
2 months without a new TV show. Come on, they're forgetting about the fans. Yeah. And then we got a new book coming out next week also, Path of Vengeance. Oh, that's going to be heartbreaking.
Big boy.
Yeah. All right, thanks, Levi's, for your comment. And then we have from Mac Baddy at La Moregina. Thanks for sending your comment again for a second straight week. New book of Del Rey about Star Wars storyline seems to contain conflicting information with Souls, The Rise of Skywalker, a recon of the canon, or simply a distraction of the story group. This week has not been one for Otis' patience with some of our topics. So just for people out there, there's a new book that just came out. It's not timelines. Star Wars Timelines covers the whole gamut of Star Wars. And I guess there is a little section that says that Kylo Ren or Ben Solo destroyed Luke's temple or something to that effect. And people went nuts. Retcon, what are they doing? They don't know anything. Oti, you want to talk about soccer again, or?
Nah, I was just looking for my Rise of Kylo Ren book and wanted to throw it to the computer. I wish I was like, I had no respect for money, because if I didn't, every time there's like a topic that makes me grumpy, I would just throw a fit, flip this table over, kick the laptop.
Which is funny, because watching the draft, like I was mentioned, I was talking to my brother, and those videos on YouTube that fans that when a pick doesn't go their way, they'll yank that TV from the wall and just throw it on the floor. That's what you would do if you had the money.
Yeah, no. You
wanna go to the next one?
Yeah, please.
All right,
I'm excited for the Timelines book. I put it up. It's a little bit too expensive for I'm gonna buy it. So I'm waiting to see if the price lowers, or I just put it on my Christmas card, just if someone wants to give it to me.
Yeah. The thing with these type of books is that like, in 2 years will be obsolete because there's more things coming. And it's
I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna drop an F-bomb. I'm not. It's a freaking reference book.
All right. We need to complain about something. It's okay. Our friend Alan Ching, who's actually at the, Galaxy's Edge, if you follow him on Twitter, he's posting for Galaxy's Edge. At Alan Maiching, he says, "Is Charles Souls ever going to let us settle the pronunciation of Marchion Ro, or is that our Trails of the Jedi?"
He actually said it.
I know, but I don't agree with him.
I don't agree with him. He's wrong. He created the character. He's probably my favorite Star Wars author, but he's wrong. It's Marchion Ro. If he wants to say Marchion, good. There's some people who say Han instead of Han, or Princess Leia. That's cool. That's cool. That's fine. It's Marchion.
It's Marchion. It's not Marchion. It's Marchion Ro. It's right there. CH. Pronounce it like a K.
Which is funny because when I read Light of the Jedi, the pronunciation on the book was in the audiobook was Marchion. Mm-hmm. So I was calling him Marchion, but then I don't know who I heard say Marchion, and I was like, oh, that's cooler. I'm gonna go with that.
It's Mark Thompson on whatever the Lorna D book. It's pronounced really? Marchion. Yeah. Because I said Marchion. I preferred Marchion. Then I saw one of those Star Wars little things that they used to do for the High Republic, those 2 minutes intro clips of different characters. I think they said Marchion. I'm like, okay, I'm wrong. And then I heard it as Marchion also. And I'm keeping Marchion.
In the books, I've heard it both ways. So it's always Mark Thompson, though.
Yeah.
Maybe he doesn't even know.
Here's the problem. I think maybe Mark Thompson is the problem. But like Mo is saying, is Mariachi Oron.
Mariachi Oron.
All right. But like Alan is saying, maybe that's our Trials of the Jedi. We'll never be convinced. Add that, AT-AT. We don't know. All right. And for the final question, our friend Brennan, if you're still there, thanks, Brennan, for sending this question. At Brennan Mystical, will Grand Admiral Thrawn's final defeat be as poetic as it was in the Legends books? I said before I haven't read that Thrawn Legends book, so I don't know. But I'm pretty sure they'll be has to be epic. For a character like Thrawn, it has to be an epic finale, especially if it happens either in the Ahsoka show or in the movie. It has to be an epic finale for Thrawn. But does he go back to the unknown regions? And
I really want him to go back. I want to know what happens to the shiz. Like, because he's here on
disease back in this energy. Sorry?
He's here on a mission. What happens? Like, and I want to see Aralani again. So I hope he doesn't die.
Yeah, just bring Aralani. So
or I hope he dies and Aralani shows up with a fleet like, screw
and
you guys.
Kills Ahsoka. Right there. Aralani is the one that kills Ahsoka.
Kicks her ass.
And we'll be cheering. Yeah. Oh, man. I don't know. Again, most Star Wars villains die a pretty epic death, I think. He deserves one. So, and we know that they're talking with Son for the Ahsoka, most likely for the movie. That Filoni has been in talks with him. So I think there'll be something there.
I'm dying to know how Martian's gonna die. I know I'm going back to the previous topic, but here I am saying he has to die. Maybe he's the villain for Rey later on, which I will absolutely lose my freaking mind if that happens.
Dude, you're killing me now. Oh man, we don't know how long what's the name of that species?
Oh my god!
It's in the tip of my tongue. Like I know there's an N and an E, or an I should say.
Never any. Ever any.
There we go.
I think they kind of live for a long time because he and Marta aren't that far off in their family tree.
Yeah.
So, okay, Marchion Ro confirmed for the Rey movie.
We brought it. We'll be tomorrow on all the trays. We'll be on the Radio Rebellion podcast.
He's how old? Like 330
Hey, who cares?
years? But hey, if Palpatine and Yoda live that long,
yeah, Yaddle is kicking butt, and Ahsoka's gonna be a Force god at some point. Why Martian Raw is not a? See, I see. I said Martian.
oh, interesting take here. So Andrew hated how he died in the Legends trilogy, and you know what? Full disclosure, I've never read the books. That's one of my resolutions for this year. I've read the comic book, and I always thought it was pretty anticlimactic. So I was a little bit surprised with that.
So how he died? Just tell me. I don't. There's not spoilers for something that came out like 10 years ago or 20.
No, I'm not. No, Alberto, I'm not gonna go into it because I know a lot of people are going back to read the books. So.
God, really? So you're like, don't tell me the ending to Return of the Jedi?
Wait.
Well, he gets that. Andrew also asks, he has many thoughts and fears about the direction that Filoni will take with Thrawn. So it will be interesting for people that are huge fans of Legends Thrawn to see how. So it's gonna work out. All right.
Okay. Spoilers.
I can't. You just got shot in the chest and then it blew up.
It was so artistically done.
Oh, well, I guess the starship crashed. I can see. I just got glasses the other day. All right, Oti, that brings an end to our show for this week. Not a short show. It's a regular time. Not a lot of big news items there. Just a couple of things to keep us busy as we gear up for Vision Season 2 next week and then Ahsoka in a couple of months. So very interesting months coming for Star Wars.
No, definitely. I think we're in a lull now, but things will pick up.
Yeah, not for long. All right, so as always, thanks to everyone in the chat that showed up today. Michael, Mo, Andrew, Tony, Mr. Rez, Dale, Amy, I think I said Mo already, I'll say it again. Everyone else, as always, you guys make this show what it is and what we love about it. And Oti, you won't be here next week, but
I won't be here.
I gotta hear then your thoughts, maybe the following week, about Visions or what.
Yes, please. I'll probably be dying to talk about it. But yeah. All
right, so Oti, people know where to find you. It's down there.
Yep.
You guys know where to find me. Like we mentioned a couple of minutes ago or like an hour ago, in a couple of weeks, as everything pans out, we'll have Lydia Kang, author of Cataclysm. I should say Dr. Lydia Kang, author of Cataclysm here. Gotta start taking my medicines for that. Talking about Cataclysm, it's gonna be a great show, and we'll see how that goes. And then we'll be back next week. Maybe myself, would I get a guest? I don't know. We'll figure that out. If you can't wait for Lydia to be here, you can read my review of Cataclysm on our website at radiorebellionpodcast.wordpress.com. You'll find my review there. And we'll be back next week. So as always, stay safe, be safe, and may the force be with you.